Breaking news that came out of Nyabuhanse last night. I did a live stream. I posted in my community post that Mayani is no more. And this one is very painful. A friend of mine, a young YouTuber, a husband, a man expecting a child, is now dead. Mayani is gone forever. Not from sickness, not from an accident, but from a stabbing after what is being described as a simple quarrel when he went to buy fish for his young family.
They are going to buy the fish, and again they had a quarrel there with a friend, and the friend stabbed him to death, and he was oozing blood. He was stabbed very meticulously. Now,
let me say this. Mayani is a YouTuber. He has been killed trying to survive, trying to provide for his family, and now he's gone. So let me ask this, because I've seen people speculating online that this can be because of YouTube. Let me ask people, why are we killing each other over a few dollars? How much did he really earn to lose his life like this? Is YouTube exposing people, or are we failing each other as a society? Because today it's Mayani, tomorrow it could be anyone else. Let me say this. And what happened to Mayani, the way he died, this is something that disturbs a lot of individuals. Mayani himself, he wasn't rich, he wasn't famous worldwide. He was just a young man with a camera, trying to survive, trying to build something, try to feed his family, and now a pregnant wife is left behind. A child will be born without even ever seeing their father. It will be like a story to the child. This is bigger than one man. This is about us and about how little value we are placing on human life. Because how do you take someone's life over something so small? And this is why I believe we as YouTube community, we need to step in. The burial is coming. This family needs support, and beyond burial, the family will need long-term help. So I propose this. Let us come together as a YouTubers, as a YouTube fraternity. Let us organize something like a GoFund under the name of the wife, accounts to be the wife's account, with an alternative, because YouTube allows direct contribution to the YouTube platform itself. We have some YouTubers who are friends to the family. They can try to raise the contribution, then the money will be sent to the family, because this is not something that will take decades or what. Right here on YouTube to support this family, because let us look long-term thing. Let us look the future of this family. Let us look the future of the child that belongs to Mayani. Because if we can watch, if we can comment, then we can also help. Before we talk about support, we need to understand exactly what happened to Mayani, because the truth is even more painfully than what we think. Because maybe in the near future, we'll be thinking about building a foundation. Especially, this has hit the YouTube fraternity very hard. We can come up with a foundation with Mayani's statue in that foundation, so as it will serve like a memorial. It will serve like something like a memorial thing to the community, through the YouTubers in Nyabuhanse. Having said that, let me dive to the topic of discussion of the day, because we have seen Mayani of recent doing videos about him and the wife, where we see him helping the wife in different cause, like fetching water, some other task. We have seen Mayani doing that. But here's the thing: the more you follow up this story step by step, the more questions you have than answers. Before I go deep into this, I want to say this clearly: this is not just content. This is someone's life. This is a family destroyed. This is a pregnant wife who will now raise a child without a father. So let us break this down carefully, step by step, because something is not adding up. I personally have been his friend for quite some time. I take him as my younger brother. I've done videos with him before. I knew him even before YouTube. I used to associate with him so much. And today, when I got that news, actually yesterday night when I got that news, it was kind of devastating, because it is not something that I personally expect. And today's video, I'm going to digest everything step by step, from what happened when Mayani, from the point where Mayani, the first person who got Mayani, took him to the hospital, where other individuals came in, until the demise of Mayani. Even before Mayani's demise, there is something that happened that I'm going to discuss about that on camera. I remember even a time where I had an interview session one-on-one with Mayani, because this is one of my good friend, where I came out on camera. I discussed about the situation where Mayani was attacked by some people there before. So, and evidence is there.
Rasta. Yes, I'll be telling my reasons maybe in another platform.
Yeah, man.
So basically, for those who are seeing me for the first time,
yeah,
I go by the name Maxwell Lumumba.
Maxwell
Africa.
Lumumba.
Africa. I have that Africa after Maxwell
end.
Lumumba. Yes. Yeah, so that people should know where I come from.
Exactly.
And actually appreciate
what
I'm trying to do. Yeah, basically today is another session for today.
Yeah, man.
And I'm very grateful for you welcoming me to your YouTube channel, so that we can have a one-on-one session with you.
Exactly.
And at least we can share some knowledge, and actually we can see how things are.
Yeah, man. Guys, welcome back. Mayani is here. Good morning, good night, wherever you are watching from.
Yeah.
Today we have Maxwell Lumumba.
Yes.
And if you have been the first time watching this amazing content, kindly go by subscribing to our channel. These are the guys that have come like a safari rari, and a lot of people they have been just saying, where have this guy coming from?
Yes.
But you promise them that you're gonna be telling them what's going on.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I have
man.
to tell them. Actually, yesterday I met your video.
Yeah, man.
You were being chased like safari ride.
Not even chased.
Yes.
Look at the dents.
I saw that video, and actually it was very much provoking.
Yeah.
And a lot of things have been said. And one of the person who posted that video was there shouting a lot of things.
Even before the demise of Mayani, day before yesterday, Mayani called me. He explained to me that he has challenges when it comes to weeds, and some people have been coming to his piece of land and grazing some animals. So I told Mayani, because Mayani told me that he started actually weeding with the use of fork jembe, and it looks like it is very tiresome and cumbersome. He asked me if there is any selective herbicide I might be knowing that can really help him when it comes to clearing these all these weeds. I told Mayani there is one, and Mayani requested me that I take it to him. I told him I'm going to send somebody, and actually sent Lucas the Traveler immediately to Mayani and Lucas the Traveler took to him the herbicide, that selective herbicide that he was to use in that piece of land to clear the weeds. Even before that, the last time I met Mayani, actually I met with him at Gintu's place, where Gintu was cutting a cake. It was a kind of a celebration. I was there, Mayani was there, other individuals were there, so it was like I was with him because we were there making fun, telling stories. Even I remember when I was passing, he told me, even introduced me to the wife. He told me that, like, Max, he called the wife, he told the wife that, babe, this is Maxwell Lumumba, the individual that you have been watching for some time. So I know you have never met him. Here he is, because I was just passing there, and Mayani called me, and we are at the posho mill because we know Mayani. Mayani is a hardworking, dedicated individual, because before his demise, he was operating a posho mill. Even we have seen it severally on camera that he is operating posho mill. Then apart from maybe operating posho mill, he is a YouTuber from Nyabuhanse. He has been in YouTube for quite some time, even before me, because me it is less than a year. But for Mayani, he has been there in the YouTube streets for quite a longer period of time. So it's somebody that I knew him before even YouTube. He's like my younger brother. Yeah, that is what I can say about Mayani when it comes to. So when I was with him in Gintu's celebration, yeah, it was almost midnight, because to me, being outside, it is not something that you can find me outside after 7. Yeah, that is a basic principle to me. Past 7 p.m. Kenyan time, most of the times you get me that I'm already in the house. I wake up early enough, I go to the house early enough. Yeah, so I told Mayani that okay, I won't be staying in this celebration up to down, because I have some things I have to attend to. Mayani told me that when you are leaving, you'll be dropping me at my place, so that I'll be taking to my wife food, because he had food. So he told me after when you are leaving, just drop me at my place, then I'll be going back to the house, taking food to the wife. I said okay, there is no problem. I went. It was me, Lucas the Traveler, and Mayani. So we dropped him. I went with Lucas the Traveler where I live. Lucas the Traveler dropped me. Then Lucas the Traveler went back to, actually he went to where he stays. Yeah, because we stay differently. Yeah, Lucas the Traveler, Mayani stays next to the road. Lucas the Traveler stays in the deeper side. For me, I stay the other side. So it is like we are scattered. Yeah, but because we are like brothers, yeah, we had to make sure that each and every individual has to get home very nicely. And that is actually the longest conversation I was having with Mayani, because it was more than 1 hour, apart from doing videos, because there before have done videos with him. You people can see the clip that I attached there when he was being attacked by some individuals. The clip is there. You people have watched it. Some people watched it when that arised, and that is the only thing that I can say. According to the reports, Mayani had gone to buy fish in Nyabuhanse, just a normal day, as a father, the provider of let's say the provider of the family. He went to buy fish for the family. Somewhere along the way, a quarrel broke out, and the quarrel turned deadly. He was stabbed near the upper thigh, because that is what actually that is the information that we are getting, that he was stabbed near the upper thigh, a very dangerous area, because that is where major blood vessels pass. Once those veins are cut, because that is what happened, blood oozed, and that is exactly what happened. And he didn't die instantly. He slowly bled out. He lost blood before his demise, and the intention of that individual who stabbed him tells us that he had an intention of analyzing Mayani, or making Mayani not even infertile. He just wanted to remove his private part, something of sort, because stabbing somebody, because I usually know that when somebody wants to stab other individual, maybe I've seen situations where people are being stabbed in the stomach, some people, but this one I find it very strange that what is the intention of these individual stabbing these individual next to the private part. And there is where the news broke out. Have been following even when Mayani was taken to the hospital, and this is what happened when he was taken to the hospital. There is a clip I'm going to play here, then I'll be translating what this individual says in Korean language. I'll be translating it to English language so that the audience and other people can really understand what took place before Mayani's demise. Then we dive deep to the whole story, because I have to do a clear follow-up, step by step, what happened from the stabbing to this point and everything. Watch this clip, then we dive deep.
Chinguru amwikalia bado angakuweza wiki amwikala musonge na tokenya kwe moteresina wiki tukire ko kona benenda so teresina bokuro kubigi bikine mena to mo tikake nyaka kama manyi ngomba manyi tokenya to sokanda sasa nyukura ni akumilio teresina o teresina mura onye akumilio no tukire mo teresina mura na kaya harengo mahatu aturisina libere hakuna isato hakuna amanje karaga tola kota tabuta mkungore nyaka agambika huyo tutamushona atemisi uje garu ni mwana baka hara bikata sinipisi mani kana kwa sasa kama mkia manje ora mu mahansi ga kuko waka ngara kage ngota koni kama manje.
The individual that you see in that clip, that is a border guy, a rider, who says that Mayani appeared in front of him staggering, weak, and he was asking for help. Imagine that moment. A grown man fighting for his life, begging, help me. Then he collapses next to the motorcycle, because you could hear that the guy saying that he had to initiate brakes, and Mayani came and knocked himself there, and he went down. Then the rider was carrying a madam. He says she was a madam. Then they took another person called Jacob, came, and they carried him to the motorcycle. And by that time, Mayani was bleeding. Mayani actually collapsed, and they tried rushing him to the hospital. But along the way, he kept falling down, blood everywhere. Even that individual said that blood oozed to him, not drops, not stains, but flowing like water. That is what that individual described what happened. And at the hospital, the nurses tried their best. Injection 1, Injection 2, no response, nothing. Injection 3, still nothing. A drip, no change. And then comes the most painful part. She says, this is beyond me. He needs a transfer. But here's the question. Why wasn't the bleeding controlled immediately? And I know a lot of people will be asking me that. We the villagers, we the people in the village, we cannot even control the bleeding because basic first aid, pressure, we call it, it is called tourniquet, something of sort. Could that have saved him? Because you just tie maybe a piece of clothing, or you take something like a piece of cloth, then you try to apply pressure to that part so that that blood would clot from that point, then at least you'll stop that blood from oozing out. Because what unalived Mayani, it was excess bleeding. By the time he was being moved, his blood was already finished. Yeah. And let me talk about the ambulance delay, because we are being told that the ambulance arrives, but instead of immediate action, they asked for money first. Let that sink in. A man is dying, and the system is negotiating for payment. Only after assurance of the payment is then moved.
A bit, the doctors are asking you, how are you going to be paying? Pay the money as you're going to be doing it. Why can't you do the operation or whatever necessary and treat the guy? And now, because the person will not leave the hospital, we will now understand how the payment is. Hospitals now, they're like, we need that money, as we want to see the money. They think about people not having money or what's the problem. I told them, take the person who has called you, it's the hospital. So you make sure that we are here and I'm accompanying you. We just go and we're going to be handling the matter. I will pay the money whenever we reach there. There's no problem. Then that's the time the driver had me and talked about, okay, ignited, and we started the journey.
And even then, the next hospital that he was taken to, it has no emergency capacity. The individuals who were negotiating about this payment that you have to pay, they had no capacity to actually for emergency cases or the casualties.
We are speaking, we don't have the hospital that can take care of an emergency or a casualty at the moment. That's why you see so many people are losing their lives. It's not because they have not reached to the hospital with time. They have reached in time, but the problem is the management in these hospitals. It's one thing. When we reached there,
and at that point, it was too late, because it is now being described like even the bed that it is there in the ambulance was faulty. The bed that was pulled, that was taking him to the emergency room, still was faulty. So nothing, I don't know even what the government is doing about that. Even this reminds me when my aunt died. It is now like 1 to 2 months. I came on camera and I said something that my aunt died because of negligence. He was given a transfer to another hospital in Migori, because the initial hospital we were in, it was in Mabera. She was given a transfer to Migori. During this transfer, it really took time before being transported from this first hospital to the other hospital. It took a lot of time. Even I was like, what is really happening? These people need her dead? Because this is the same situation that we are getting about Mayani. Because after the delay about my aunt, when we took her to the other hospital that we were told to transfer her to, they rejected her. They told us that they are not going to receive this patient. We tried our luck. Actually, we gambled now with health facilities. We had to now to take her to another public hospital in Migori so as to see, can we really save her life? On arrival, she was dead. We cried. We were very emotional. But we could do nothing. Actually, we could do nothing. The same situation has happened about Mayani. Mayani has died. It took time from this first hospital to another one. It took negligence. Even for me, I'm tending to think that why couldn't they arrest this blood first before even maybe injecting the medicine and everything? Because as normal for health practitioners, you people know how to do the first aid. That is basically even before taking the patient to the hospital. Control first the blood, then other things will be following. And now, this is where the story even becomes more disturbing. Just 2 weeks ago, Mayani lost his father-in-law under unclear circumstances, beaten, allegedly over land use issues, and not even a week after burial, Mayani is dead. And before this, Mayani came online and talked about something, because even the father-in-law, after being alleged beaten, he was hanged. Videos are there, pictures are there. Even I personally, in my phone, I have those pictures. I was in that WhatsApp group. Even Mayani shared those pictures. We tried contributing. We made it to happen. So let me say this. Even before this, Mayani already came online talking about intimidation, threats, land conflicts, even mentioning the people, including a police officer who was grazing on his piece of land, destroying his finger millets. Now the question is, was this really just a simple quarrel? Even the police officer, I know him. He works in Kisii as an OCPD in Kisii, one of the police station. He's just a neighbor to Mayani, just some few meters. Yeah, I know him very well. And I was asking that, was this really a simple quarrel, or is there something bigger behind it? Let me ask some of the biggest questions. Let me ask these. And I don't think if these questions are very hard. Yeah? Let me ask these. Why is the suspect not arrested? Why was a man bleeding to death not given immediate emergency care? Why does someone who spoke about threats end up dead days later? Why? Is this justice? Is this actually coincidence or a pattern? Let me talk about human impact. At the center of all these is a woman, pregnant, waiting for a future that will never come, and a child inside the stomach who will grow up hearing about a father they never met. Some of the people in this world have experienced the same situation, that you are born, then you're being told that your father died. You wonder what happened to the demise of the father, only to be told that your father died because he was stabbed by so and so. Let me say this. Let me call for support, and this will be a GoFund angle. This is the responsibility of the family members. All the plans will be done with the family members, but let me just give my own proposal, apart from maybe the family doing the funding and everything. Let us chip in, let us assist the family. This is why I personally, I believe we are the community, apart from maybe a YouTube community, we need to step in. The burial is coming, the family needs support, and beyond burial, because let us not support the family like we are supporting the family like today only. I propose this family will need a long-term help we organized something like a GoFund right here on YouTube to support this family, to support the wife, the pregnant wife. And let me say this situation is painful. This is also a wake-up call for everybody about violence, about healthcare system, about justice, because some people will be, there is something that Gintu talked about when it comes to, here in Kenya we have something that we call social health insurance, that is the SHA. You know, something that is happening right now with these SHA is this. We have seen a lot of politics when it comes to this SHA. Initially, this SHA used to be called it used to be called do I recall even the name? It used to be called NHIF. When it was NHIF, I remember for me, I used to pay like 1,200 to 1,800 because this was being deducted from it was being deducted from my salary every month. I know that this amount of money goes to my NHIF every month. Now when it changed to this SHA, it came up with another criteria that somebody is not even supposed to pay monthly the way we used to, because for me I usually to pay maybe a higher package, but there's some people who I've seen people even paying us up to around 300 shillings maybe monthly to around 600 shillings, especially for those people maybe they're not employed. People pay 600, 300 per month. But so when this SHA came, system changed. People now pay yearly. You don't pay like you pay today or you pay tomorrow, and you pay every month. You have now to pay the whole year. So you see, consolidating, like let's say some people who pay, let's say like 600 a month, 600 let's say a month. So this SHA will require you to pay 7,200. And in this ecosystem that we live in, getting this amount of money is not even. You can't get this amount of money because we really strain a lot to get this amount of money. So people will be asking that why not use SHA? Why not do what? You know, you people don't understand what is really happening in these African villages. Yeah, you people don't really understand. Getting even that 600 is a very big problem. I personally, I'm paying SHA through what we call I attached it to something like Fuliza. When I don't have money, you get that it deducts that amount of money every time that it wants to do. There is an option that I integrated that you pay it like quarterly. Yeah, instead of paying it the whole year, I pay it quarterly. But that one you have now to go to another process within your phone that is called actually went through not even Fuliza, it was about Hustler Fund. Yes, I pay it through the Hustler Fund. So when I don't have that money, it is being deducted to my Hustler Fund directly. So that is what was happening. So when somebody hears about 7,200 the whole year for a medical cover, people will be like saying that this amount of money is not that a lot, but you don't understand how the village setting is. When you hear me talking like we do hand jobs to earn a living, you do this to earn a living, things happen. Yeah, I personally, Mayani being my friend, I've been helping him where I can. I remember the time that he was building the posho mill. You people could see me there fetching water. You could see Ernesto when Mayani was digging the fish pond. I was there helping them to do that, not because I needed payment. It is because friendship is something that means a lot. When Mayani is not even once, Mayani has been calling me, telling me, Max, I have a problem, can you help me? I did help Mayani so many times. I helped him as my brother. Not that okay, I help him as my brother. Mayani used to tell me that, Max, help me with these. Then when this date comes, I'll be doing a refund. I say, okay, you're my brother, I'm going to help you. And I used to do that. Yeah, when the date comes, I never even pressurize him, because one of the things that I don't do is now starting calling you via the phone, telling you that I gave you this, I need it back. No, I don't give anybody pressure. You just return willingly. And this one of the things why I describe Mayani as one of trustworthy individual is because there is nowhere Mayani did cornering to me. He explained himself, told me, Max, I have this kind of a problem, but I know it is a delay, but I'll be sorting it out. I tell him, no problem, my brother. That is how we do in this environment. So let me say this about the violence, about the healthcare system I've talked about justice, because Gintu tried himself to go to the person who did all these acts, because Mayani today is dead. Tomorrow it could be another person. Let me know in the comment, do you believe this was just a quarrel or something deeper? Rest in peace, Mayani. Rest in peace, Mayani. It is very emotional, it is very painful, but it has happened. Let Mayani get justice. We'll fight this battle to the end. One brother, one love. Rest in peace, the general. Rest in peace, Mayani. We loved you, we'll still love you. And that, let me just end this video from this point, because I don't want to become so emotional about this. Let me just end this video from that point. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.